Okay guys, this is Kyle or Vulcan Wolverine again. I'm having a lot of trouble today. My camera keeps like shutting off while I'm trying to, record vehicular stalking, taxi cabs, EMS workers, FedEx trucks, city police, state police, sheriffs. My phone has gone off like 4 times, so this is going to be in like a bunch of parts. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to try and get a new camera. I do want to mention a great idea by somebody on my conference call the other night. It's a lady who had this idea, and she says it works. If you get a little infrared camera and night vision camera, she says she's picked up actual directional energy that's being shot at her. So I'm gonna probably try and get one of those to get some visible proof. And I think as we go along, resources like that are gonna be kind of falling in place where we'll be able to actually visualize a lot of the beams that are being sent down, and to burn us and stuff like that. But I was just I don't know. I was just talking about like the remote neural monitoring really has kind of carterized me emotionally a lot. Like I'm still a good person and everything like that, but this stuff is all the time. It's torture all the time, and the people who are microwaving us have no authority. They are terrorists, so it's like, I don't know, something is kind of combined my 35th birthday and just how long this has been going on. I've been going through it for like 6 years or more. I'm really just like, okay, let's just stop this. Let's just get information out. Let's just gain inches. Let's just defend whatever, because like yelling at them or trying to have some like kind of logical argument, or even trying to think towards them, like with the remote neural monitoring, like I think thoughts that are only in context for me, and they make it into whatever context they want it to be. Like I'll be like, oh, she probably thinks that, that like I'll be thinking a thought about my roommate that's just random, and they will make it about them. They'll make it like, oh, he's thinking something about us. So like I've just gone back to thinking, and I don't know how I don't know, I guess you just gotta like let go and just stop focusing on them. And I know I'll fail again and again. I will focus on them. He will, hurt me enough to where I'm yelling at him and stuff like that, because we all go through that. But you have those moments where you can just be like, who cares how they're, with the remote neural monitoring, who cares how they are perceiving a thought that you have or trying to twist it or anything like that, because they're going to do it anyway. So you might as well just think normal. So I'll just think normal, and I'll be like, oh, I like that poster. And they won't know what I'm even thinking of, because I won't even visualize it or anything like that. And it's really hard because they condition us. And there's another FedEx car. I just want to show all these FedEx cars. Y'all tell me if this is like, everywhere. I know there are FedEx people everywhere. They're always delivering, but I swear every road I go down there, like 3 or 4, and that is, it's a lot. And I guess I'll just go down this way, just go down one more road. Today it hasn't been that bad. They've been, it's embarrassing, but I'm going to say it because I just want to speak the truth about all the tortures. That light's turning orange, but I'm going to go past it. Sometimes they don't time it right. And that one's turning orange because I guess they see me on a grid or something. They think I'm going that way. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, it's very personal, and I know I've talked about it before probably, but during the night they're remote neural monitoring me, and it's actually controlling my genitalia. They're either shooting my genitalia with a microwave, or they're remote neural monitoring me to control sexual function. And so basically I have an erection all night long that doesn't stop, and I guess that could do damage to your genital. I mean, to me it hasn't, it hasn't done any major damage to me. I'm still kind of kicking and going, but I think that's what they try and do. I think they do try and control pretty much every aspect of your body with the remote neural monitoring and hitting certain places. you know, to damage your body, to damage, I guess, your reproduction too. And the only thing that comes to mind is like eugenics and like depopulation, kind of weird philosophies like that. Because this would have no justice. It would just have no police kind of action to it, you know, messing around with like raping somebody's genitals in microwaves. But that's a kind of thing, and I'm really, you know, it's really all in perception, and I'm starting to figure that out. Like, the best thing to do with this stuff is to adapt and to get your perception right, that it is really a small group of people who only know all the angles, and they're psychopaths, but who cares what they think, you know? And most of these people who are doing this, like, on the larger scale of the program, and then even when you're paranoid and it's not a stalker and you think that they're maybe stalking you, even on that scale, it's like you got to get your perception right, where it's we're not fighting this technology, you know, we're not fighting society, we're fighting a small group of psychopaths who are trying to sow discord within large group, within the targeted individual community, and within just the normal community of people who they send out to vehicular harass and all that stuff. So these are people. Like, we got to keep it in perspective. It's like what I did actually verbalize to my attackers the other day, and I said, I'm not some aborigine who's looking at a camera thinking it's going to steal my soul. Like, I'm just not going to do that. This is a technology. This is a technology that within years, everybody will be like, oh, okay, we can get some images from somebody's brain. We'll understand each other better, like, once it comes out and it starts to be used for good. And I'm just going to talk about like this, like it's going to happen, because it is going to happen. They can't keep this stuff, and you know, the stuff that they're doing to us, like the torture and the terrorism they do to regular citizens, it never work in a war situation. And if a little citizen like me can get stuff to buffer this out with no money, no funds from the government, and I can kind of scramble it up with my family and stuff like that and get the defenses, then all these countries that are experimenting with directed energy weapons, they're also experimenting with defenses for directed energy weapons. So, I mean, it's like, this would never work if you lightly hit and all these lights just changed as I was rolling up to him. They really do the light thing on me on every light. Like, if I'm trying to get somewhere quick, but usually I don't even care. But, I mean, in wartime, it just wouldn't work. You couldn't get on a terrorist with if a terrorist had a rocket launcher, let's say, okay, let's microwave him and get his frequency and stay on him for 7 years. He'd already go and blow something up. So what they do with people who are dangerous is they catch them and they put them in jail or Guantanamo Bay if they're terrorists. So with us, it's like, what are they doing? They're saying they're saying target individuals are people of interest. You know, they're saying it's for national security, but then they're like, what, microwaving us for years? And they're kind of just working on it? I mean, it's bull. That's bull, you know? And we all do know there's an experimentation aspect to this, and it's, you know, it's not all just, you know, you know, well, it's definitely not for national security, because it's actually destroying our national security. But I guess I just wanted to check in. I got a lot of vehicular stalking on the other videos. It's going to be a mishmash, and some of it's going to cut off. But I do want to thank God, because I'm having an okay day. You know, they're not hurting my head too bad or my chest or anything. You know, I don't know if anybody around me has ground weapons on me, because I have the plugs, and it's such small townhomes that any weapons in the surrounding apartments are gonna be buffered, because I've got like a plug in every plug, basically, and I'll tear a whole house plug. So it's like, you know, I don't know. I try, like, and I want to tell y'all everything, every emotion that I'm going through, but I do, when I get on these videos, I feel like I'm not as passionate anymore. Like, not because, like, I don't care about people being hurt, but because I'm worn out, because it's the same thing over and over again. because we've got to get on conference calls and say how these people are torturing us. And it's like it's the most destructive thing I've ever known of, and it's also the most boring thing I've ever known of. You know, and that's like the worst thing you could ever have. It's like destructive, destroys people's lives, and it's so boring. It's like all night I'll be just sitting there watching Star Trek or reading comic books, and these people are like, we've got to do this. You know, this guy, you know, he's crazy, and we've got to do this. And now it's to a point where, you know, I've been going along for 7 years with it, or six or 7 years, maybe more that I don't know of. My mentor, Mike's been going through it for like 20 years, 18 to 20 years. And he has layers of V2K where it has to be recordings. It has to be people, you know, just looping it over and over again. And, you know, with mine, I hear certain voices all the time. So I know that mine has to be looping. I just don't know when, you know, because I'll even hear, like, I'll hear this. This is very interesting. I'll hear this guy's wife's voice, and then I'll hear him say, come over here, like, because I'll think about her or something like that because I hear her voice. So they'll loop her voice, and then they'll tell her to come over and see how I reacted to it or something like that. So it's even like, I mean, it's like very, very transparent and clear on the V2K, like what they're doing, you know, automated torture. And then if something comes from me, like just a thought comes from me, which they come from me all the time because my brain is always thinking thoughts. You know, you get the guy pointing at the screen saying, look, he's crazy, we got to do this. So it's like hypocrisy and ignorance of the human mind. It's murderers and terrorists deciding that they're psychologists and doctors now, and they're apparently eugenicist doctors who can decide who's going to go and who's going to stay in society, you know, which is ridiculous and crazy. But like I really endeavor to become less cold, because I see how my attackers are. They're cold-blooded. They don't care. They don't have a lot of passion for human beings or empathy. And I would never become that way in my actions, but I also don't even want to do it in my feelings. Like, I'll find that if there's an emotional moment on a show, or like an emotional moment in my life, I'll sometimes shut down because of the trauma, and because of, I know that, you know, I am being surveilled, so I don't want to give them an opening or something. And especially if I cry, they usually shoot me in the eyes. It burns my eyes. So, but I really don't want to go there. I'm still fighting hard, but I do want to tell you all about every emotion that I'm having. And I know, like, this is one thing I wanted to talk about. I had a commenter, and he was like, you know, you're telling me your personal experiences. He's like, this is not the way to do it. We need to do this scientifically. We need to talk about this technology. But my ideas about this, my theory about this is we've got to come at it from every angle. Because I've seen successful people work, and they don't just go down one avenue. They go down every avenue. We go down, so that's why I want to do like YouTube. I want to do YouTube videos. I want to do my Facebook, where I'm putting my videos there, and I'm like talking to people on there, so I reach more people there. Do a blog that maybe I could get into a book someday. Research this stuff. I say this is an idea. I say we start, I don't know if senators and representatives are on Facebook, like just out there on Facebook, but I say we start friend requesting them. I say all target individuals on Facebook start friend requesting senators and representatives, just every one of them from every state. Just start getting in their face, connecting them to our pages, connecting them to our pain. So somebody will do something and start asking questions, because there's a committee already set up, you know, to investigate this stuff. And, you know, this stuff is already in the works. Like, there's already timelines on this. Like, I know it deep down because of the research I've done on this. They're already making timelines of when they're going to shut this program down, because it's gonna, they've got to realize it's going to get out of hand, you know, that you're going to get criminals like just killing people, and it's going to be chaos, and it's going to become more and more. It already is that, but it's going to become more and more that